professional software engineer and hobbyist game designer. I make games under the name Anagrams Productions. And then I also enjoy playing games. So, um, last Friday, a couple days ago, we started playing a game called The Stars Under Lockehurst, which was a mystery, horror, romance, something, something, visual novel for Spooktober, the Spooktober Game Jam. So, it was really fun. But anyway, so last time under Stars Under Lockehurst, our best friend, Ophelia, invited us to this creepy town after like mysteriously disappearing for a month. Just randomly out of the blue, it was like, hey, why don't you come visit me at this creepy town that is associated with all sorts of rumors about supernatural and paranormal phenomenon. And the main character is interested in that kind of thing. They study folklore and things like that. So they're like, yeah, sure, okay. So we roll into town. Ophelia's fine. She's like, oh yeah, I was just so invested in my work, and I'm studying sea urchins and blah blah blah. A little suspicious, but also cute and adorable, and I forgave her immediately. And then we met the four love interests, who appeared normal at first, but secretly they're actually monsters. Um, so there's Mikkel, who is. I'm not quite sure how to describe him, but he works at the local coffee shop, and he's actually like a squid dude, Cthulhu like. Um, my partner has affectionately dubbed them Cutethulhu. So there's Mikkel, and then there's Angelique, who's like the sexy, mysterious librarian lady who is actually jellyfish. Jellyfish lady. I keep wanting to call her an octopus. She's not an octopus. She's a jellyfish. Who feeds on memories. And Sunraya, who is some sort of siren like creature. We haven't seen her true form yet, but she's like the cute eccentric one. Cute, clumsy, eccentric one. That's what I got anyway. And then there's Garrett, the friendly divorced goat farmer living with his young daughter, and we don't know for sure whether he's a monster or not yet. It hasn't been confirmed, but he probably is, let's be honest. There are a couple of relevant clues there. One was when we met his daughter, she like freaked out, like, you're human. So okay, like that's a pretty good clue that sure, they're probably monsters, but then when we met Garrett with the other three uh secret monster peoples, Mikhail was like, oh, he doesn't know that I used to be an elder god. And so that kind of raises some questions. Either, Garrett's not a monster, but his daughter is, so maybe his wife was. Or could be, Garrett is a monster, but he doesn't know about the other monsters, or maybe he does know about the other monsters, but he's keeping it a secret that he knows about the other monsters. Who knows? Could be a lot of things there. Oh, and there was a murder. A guy died, but you know, footnote to all the romance, right? Guy died and attacked. I'm not sure whether he was really attacked or like devoured. But the game says he was attacked by some sort of monster of some sort. And the main character witnessed that happening and was understandably pretty freaked out by it. And so we're trying to figure out like what happened, you know. If there's a monster out there killing people, we need to figure that out and deal with it. Why me? Because I'm the main character. All right. Well, hopefully that's a good recap. For the record, I did go back and play after the last time. I said I was going to go back and see if we would have gotten a scene with Ophelia or anything if we had not gone to Angelique and Sunraya's apartment. And no, there was no scene. It was one of those like, oh, you can like engage with the characters or you can skip it kinds of things. I guess I should say that as well. At the end of the last stream, I accidentally ended up on a date with Angelique, I guess. But it was good. It was fine. I do like her, just but I was thinking about Ophelia the whole time. Like, if I had chosen the other choice, would there have been something there? And no, there wasn't. The game tried to warn me, to be fair. The game was like, oh yeah, I bet Ophelia's like, you know, she's too busy anyway, so might as well. But I didn't listen. I didn't trust it. Anyway, okay. Let's get started. Maybe, if I can get the thing to pop up. Hey. Alright. I did increase the voice volume in the game a bit. Oh, I should probably turn that on. But, you know, as always, if you can't hear me, let me know. I know this is an impromptu stream. I didn't announce it or anything. I just wanted to continue playing this game, but I didn't want to spend like all of October on it because I'm really excited about playing some other Spooktober games this month. So I'm not doing it on my usual Friday, which might be Thursdays for the next couple months. Thursdays are my new Fridays, but I'll upload it to YouTube as always, and yeah. All right. We will continue, and it was this one. So we just started a new day, October 10th, I think. So I think somewhere in here, the main character has said a few times that like they're only in town for a few days. But I think somewhere I saw a week, and we're 3 days into it. Like this would be our 4th day, so I think we're about halfway through, maybe a little less than halfway through. But my goal is to finish it today. I find myself stirring well before I normally get up. Oh, and I've already forgotten the controls. Spacebar does not advance the text here, like it normally does. I can't force myself back to bed. My mind is racing, trying to process all that happened these past 2 days. I witnessed a man get attacked by something in a creepy cave. All of the cute people in town are monsters, and I'm working with them to investigate a supernatural murder. Well, there you go. The game recapped itself. I wasn't expecting that. To make matters worse, whatever killed that man knew my name. It called to me. I pry myself out of bed and get ready to go to Providence Pours when Ophelia shifts in her bed. Emerson? You're up early. Sorry, did I wake you? She shakes her head and yawns. Where are you going? She's so busy with her research. I don't want to worry her. Should I tell the truth? Good question. I mean, I was honest with her before. Like, I told her what happened. And, you know, I didn't try to hide it. So, I love Ophelia. I love her, her dynamic with the main character, but she is super suspicious. And I definitely get the feeling that she knows more than she's letting on. And you know, after I witnessed the murder, she was really quick to be like, "Oh, you were just sleepwalking." And try to convince me that, like, nothing happened, blah blah blah. But like, I found the dude's stuff at the beach, so like, it obviously, you know, was not a dream. So, yeah, I know that, like, I'm pretty sure Ophelia isn't one of the love interests, and so last time I kind of theorized that, it's very likely that something bad is gonna happen to her. And I still think, it's pretty likely that she's either going to die or she's gonna turn out to be evil, or both. Because it's also a little suspicious that she was there at the beach that night too, when the dude died. And the monster knew my name and called out to me. And did you notice her necklace is the little star that's all over the UI? Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt, Ophelia. Because as much as I think you're gonna turn evil, I would like to think you won't. Another clue, or another thing that makes me think that, like, you know, maybe she's the monster who killed the guy, is, or, you know, otherwise you will met the monster who killed the guy. Angelique said something really interesting when, we were on our little movie date, and she said that, like, she used to be human, like the main character, and that kind of makes me think, like, wait, so people can be turned into monsters? Is that, you know, is that what we're looking at here? Okay, I'll move on, but we'll be honest. Please don't betray me, Ophelia. I'm investigating what happened to me 2 nights ago. I wasn't sleepwalking. I need to figure out who or what hurt that man. That sounds dangerous.
Just be safe, okay?
Okay, Ophelia. I will, I promise. See you later. She replies with a nod and a yawn before lying back down. With that, I head out to Providence Pour's, aka the coffee shop. By the time I get to the shop, it seems like Garrett has already arrived. None of the others are here yet, not even Mikkel. Garrett offers me a calm smile as I walk over to him.
Well, hello there.
Morning. How'd you sleep? Not great. It's been hard processing everything. He puts a hand on my shoulder. Well, let's get you some coffee when Mikkel gets back. Say, Emerson, can I show you something? Show me what? I know you've been poking around in the town's history. You know who, or what, most of us really are. I'd like you to show you what I am so you don't get blindsided by it. Here we go. It's the reveal. Wait, won't the other patrons see you? He shakes his head and smiles, though there's something sad in his eyes. No, I've had a long time to control this disguise of mine. You're gonna be the only one who can see me. If we're gonna be looking into trouble together, I want you to trust me. I'd rather you learn about me in a way I can control. I don't want you to be scared of me. I could never be scared of you, Garrett. Or go ahead and show me then. Sure. I could never be scared of you, Garrett. You're one of the sweetest people I've met so far. Which is true. Let's be honest. I met the dude and he immediately invited me to his home. Like...
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. I still want to show you, though. Yeah. It is probably for the best to know your true form now instead of in the heat of a confrontation. Is this supposed to be the main character speaking? Yeah, okay. I was like, there is a name tag when he speaks, right? Or they. The main character is a they. I keep just kind of alternating between what pronouns I call them. I'm so sorry.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hopefully we won't get into any confrontations, but better safe than sorry. Garrett nods and closes his eyes. Let me introduce you to the man I used to be. My vision blurs and spots dance at the corners of my eyes. When I refocus, an enormous creature clad in almost armor-like shells looms over me. His heavy arms are as thick as tree trunks, and his carapace bears a few deep scars. Two large, watery cyan eyes fix on me, and then a low, familiar voice weaves its way out of the creature. Meet Cutethulhu, the Conqueror, Emerson. Scourge of the New England coasts, King of Carnage. He goes quiet for a moment before continuing. Cutethulhu, the Conqueror, was a warrior, a god of violence and bloodshed. I'm not that man anymore, but whether I like it or not, he's a part of me. That's horrible! You've clearly changed for the better. Garrett, from the short time I've known you, I can tell you've changed for the better. You have been nothing but kind and hospitable to me. Garrett's quiet for a long moment before he seems almost to cry. Oh, oh, baby. I'm so sorry. Thank you. That means a lot. Oh. My head pounds again, and the crustacean monster before me fades back into Garrett's human form. Like I said, I want you to trust me. So I'm thinking about how all of the characters kind of bear some similarities to their monster forms, or at least some hints. Some. So like Angelique, her haircut looks like a jellyfish. Like it's like a little bob, but then with little tendrils of longer hair coming out. And then she's got a necklace with like an eye, like one of her, like in her jellyfish form, she's covered in eyes. And then she's got like the same like red dress on. And then Mikkel, he's kind of interesting. It's like his little sweater, like his dark green overlaid sweater, kind of looks like his wings, in his Cutethulhu form, and similar color scheme. They're all similar color schemes to their monster forms. So I'm trying to think about like, okay, how does Garrett kind of look like his monster form? And his hair kind of reminds me of like a claw somehow. And I definitely the color scheme, the eye color and everything. His shirt with the kind of puffy sleeves. His collar, like this collar here. Yeah, I can kind of see it. Oops, I went too far. Maybe the beard, like I can kind of see it. Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but thank you for sharing, Garrett. I appreciate your vulnerability. And I appreciate you letting me show you. If you'd like to talk more about it, the farm's always open to you. He gives me a warm smile before Mikkel and Angelique approach. Mikkel sets down 5 to-go coffee mugs.
How's it been?
Sorry I'm late. I was training the new kid to take my place while I'm gone.
Hey, darling.
And I was walking Sonraya to work. Unfortunately, she couldn't get time off today. Seems like it's just the 4 of us then. So, we need to find more information on what happened to Faust. That's the guy who died. Garrett, you said this may be connected to another case, right?
Yup.
Yup. I found some old papers I gotta look through. Should have information that will be helpful.
Ooh.
It may also be useful to investigate the beach again. I would love to comb over the crime scene. Same here. Well, there's 4 of us. Oh, and then like his little chain necklace is like the little chains he has on him in his Cutethulhu form. Well, there's 4 of us, so I'm sure we can divide and conquer. Mikkel and Angelique, you can investigate the beach. Garrett can go through the information on the connected case. And I will check out the cave with Mikkel and Angelique, or investigate Garrett's lead. So basically, this is probably like, who do I want to spend time with? Sure. Join Garrett in investigating his lead. Alright, don't have too much fun sorting through papers. Mikhail snickers and Angelique gives him a dirty look. We'll meet back here at 4.
Darling.
Try not to be late, darlings. Garrett and I head over to his farmhouse to look through his findings.
Huh?
I'm hoping my instincts aren't right, and this isn't a huge conspiracy or serial killer, but I just got a bad feeling about it. He leads me to a few cardboard boxes full of documents on his porch. Several are cut into neat strips, others are crumpled beyond recognition. Why are these shredded? Funny story. I was planning on raising chickens next season and was going to use the old papers for bedding. That's before I did some research and found some better options. I was thinking about using straw, maybe wood shavings, but he falters and turns bright red once he realizes he's rambling. But that's not important now. I can't help but smile at seeing how impassioned he gets when speaking about his farm. We sit down on his porch and take a cardboard box of paper each. As I start looking through an old newspaper, Garrett strikes up conversation again.
Hi.
Cassidy wanted to tell you she's sorry about making the goats go wild the other day. She should know better. No one got hurt, it's alright. It's okay, the important thing is no one got hurt. I'm with ya. It's just been a while since she's been like that. Like what? Playful, pulling pranks on folks.
Oh.
She's been down recently. It's been hard for her at school, kids teasing her and all. My heart breaks for that poor girl. I'm sorry, Garrett. Have you talked to the teachers about it?
Why?
Bunch of times. Sometimes people just like making fun of what they don't understand. It's real hard too, because she's still trying to understand what it's like being a monster, but looking like a human. I can only imagine. I haven't thought about it, but that makes sense. If Garrett's a crab monster, then so is Cassidy.
Yep.
Yeah, but when I saw her messing around with you the other day, she seemed like her old self. Impish, scheming, happy.
We'll all be.
I don't know why you were the one she decided to torment, but it's been a while since I've seen her smile like that. Does this mean I cheered her up, or was I just an easy target? Don't know, but I appreciate you being a good sport. No problem, but next time I'll try to help her find a different outlet other than riling the goats up. Good luck. He lets out a thunderous laugh and claps a hand on my shoulder. After that, we get back to sorting through the papers in comfortable silence, serenaded by the distant bleats of goats and sheep. There are a couple of loose scraps of paper in my box. I can't tell what it used to say, but there seems to be a picture on it. Let's see what this is. Yeah, I was expecting a little piece together mini game. I actually really like this mini game. It's a really clever way of making you feel like a detective, you know, that you're like literally piecing together the clues. And it's not too bad, you know, it's like putting together a puzzle. But I did find with the others, I forgot to actually like look at it as I was piecing together. I was just so focused on finishing the puzzle, and it doesn't give you like a moment to look at it once it's complete. Like as soon as you complete it, it just moves on. So when I replayed the first half earlier today, because I was trying to get back to the point where we stopped, I spent a little bit more time actually like looking at the things I was piecing together. A little bit, not too much, but especially like the you know, the letter from Garrett that kind of started this all. But okay, before I put this where it needs to go, this is for Alice Porter. This is the lady we were talking about, thinking about. That Garrett was like, oh, maybe this is a thing. Oh, that's better. Last seen on October 5th. That was like shortly before we got here. Arguing with a short-statured woman outside of Providence Poors and heading to the southern docks, wearing a blue shirt and red scarf. Reported to be stumbling and distressed. That sounds familiar. The docks and the stumbling and distressed part, that is. Short-statured woman. Hey Garrett, I found a missing poster for Mrs. Porter. It says she went missing on the 5th around the docks. She was acting strange, just like Faust.
For what purpose?
Maybe they are connected then. The docks are right by the beach. Right. This also says she was arguing with a short woman. Faust also had messages with someone named Daisy. This can't be a coincidence. We should go talk to everyone else about this. Couldn't agree more. We clean up the papers and head back into town. It's around 4 p.m. when everyone arrives back at Providence Poors. We debrief one another on what happened during our investigations. Mikkel and Angelique share that they couldn't do much investigating at the cave. They say it was first because a strange creature was blocking the way, demanding fish. But then a horrifying eel-like monster barreled out of the cave and attacked them. Wow, I feel like I missed all the action. But I had a nice chat with Garrett. That's what counts. I imagine 2 cosmic horrors were easily able to handle it, but they still had to reassure Garrett that they were fine. Garrett and I then share what we found. Mrs. Porter's missing poster from 2 weeks ago. Where she was last seen, how she was acting. Angelique's eyes go wide, and she suddenly looks lost in thought.
What?
Is this related to that story? Come on, Angel. There's no time to be cryptic. What story? I thought it was simply unfounded rumors. 2 weeks ago, the newspapers ran a story about a man arguing with someone on the beach. Supposedly it happened only a few days after Mrs. Porter went missing. A creeping dread rises in my gut. Something, or someone, is luring people to the beach to kill them. Why? Looks like we got more work to do tomorrow. Yes, I will catch Sunraya up on what we found today. We agreed to meet here again tomorrow, same time. I'm eager to figure out what's going on, but at the same time, I feel so on edge. After Angelique and Garrett leave, I'm about to head out before Mikkel stops me. Hey, Emerson. Just wanted to let you know that if you want to crash with me and unwind, I got a place behind the barber shop on Main. No pressure. Thank you for the offer, Mikkel. He gives me an easy smile before I head out of the coffee shop. I was expecting that to be a choice. Like the other one where the girls were like, hey, you want to come back to our apartment and hang out? My mind is reeling from today, but I don't know if I'm ready to go home yet. What should I do? Oh, okay. It was a choice. Okay. Choices. I mean, honestly, I think I've kind of screwed myself in terms of, like, going down one route. I've just been kind of, like, nice to everybody. Or, like, nice but not too nice. Polite, but not, like, super into anybody. So I could just continue in that same vein and, you know, don't spend too much time with Garrett, hang out with Mikkel instead. That's tempting. I wonder how many endings there are. Is there an ending where you don't end up with any of the love interests? And you and Ophelia ride off into the sunset together? That's the ending I want. I know it's not gonna happen, but it's the ending I want. We just go home and put this all behind us. Sure, we'll hang out with Mikkel. That's fine. Mikkel's offer is quite appealing, and he seemed quite eager to have me over too. He said he'd be hanging out at his place behind the barber shop. I spot the barber pole down the street. The red, blue, and white stripes. As an American, I always... It's red, white, and blue. Can't put those colors in any other order. It's always gotta be red, white, and blue. The red, blue, and white stripes are dim and motionless, but still visible. I make my way over and spot a short door on the side of the shop. Above the door, a cleanly spray-painted sign reads, Inkwell. There aren't any other entrances nearby, and the barbershop is closed, so I assume this is where Mikkel is. The door rings out a hollow knock as I rap on it.
How's it been?
Yeah, come in. Mikkel's voice is muffled, but unmistakable. The hinges whine as I swing the door open and step inside. When Mikkel invited me to hang out with him, I was expecting it to be at his apartment. But this looks like a tattoo studio. Oh, okay. There was a content warning for people who are afraid of needles. There's a tattoo gun. I found it. I was wondering when it would come up. I found it. Well, I assume it is. I've never gotten a tattoo. I haven't even had my ears pierced. I can't help but feel slightly out of my element.
How's it been?
Hey, grab a seat. Just finished making popcorn. Though Mikkel's casual smile eased my nerves some, he gestures to a bowl of steaming popcorn and a short black leather love seat. He's perched on a rolling stool next to what almost looks like a dentist chair.
What?
Weird couple of days, huh? That's the understatement of the century. Yeah. You holding up alright? Most people in your shoes will have run screaming by now. The thought has crossed my mind, or I need to solve this mystery, or frankly, I just want to see how this ends. To be fair, these two kind of feel the same to me, but I need to solve this mystery. I can't stand unanswered questions. True. Mikkel chuckles. It's a low, honeyed laughter that rumbles deep in his chest. See, this is why I like you, Emerson. He flashes a smile before pulling out a black leather sketchbook and propping it on his knee. I snack on some popcorn and help myself to a peek at what he's working on. I will say I'm a little disappointed there's not a background for this. I understand why not, because they were on a tight schedule, and It's really impressive how many custom backgrounds they put together as it is. But I hope that when they revisit this and add a bit more polish, could really use a background for this. I mean, if Angelique and Sunraya had a background for their apartment, Mikhail deserves a background too. A custom background for his little date night. I snack on some popcorn and help myself to a peek at what he's working on. Dozens of small, clean ink drawings occupy the pages. I spot a Ouija board planchette, a cartoonish ghost holding a wilting rose, and a snake coiled around a dagger. Mikhail flicks his eyes from the page to me and smiles. Interested in getting one? I'm a little taken aback by that question and barely stutter a reply. Mikhail laughs softly. Just kidding. I'm working on a flash sheet for the 13th. Normally business is slow here, but people love Friday the 13th discounts I run. Wait, you also run a tattoo parlor? What's a flash sheet? I kind of want to do both of these, honestly. Because I don't know what a flash sheet is, and I'm curious, but also... why do you run the coffee shop and the tattoo parlor? What? Sunraya too, like she works at both the craft store and the like restaurant place. What's a flash sheet? Well, it's a bunch of small flash tattoos my clients can choose from when they come in. The tattoos are small with a set price and set design, but you get them fast and for a pretty good rate. Ah, gotcha. I didn't know you did tattoos. Yeah, I run this place on my own time. Business isn't good enough to pay the bills, so I picked up a job at Providence during the day. You're a god, aren't you? Why are you doing this? I guess the economy sucks for the supernatural, too. I mean, accurate. Yeah. There are lots of great things about pretending to be human. Bills are not among them. I guess I'm still confused why someone like you is spending time in a small town like this. Shouldn't you be out conquering cities? Like I said a few days ago, Cape Lockehurst is special for some reason. A few centuries ago I was conquering cities, but I had to stop for a bit. A dark cloud passes over his face. I'm still not as strong as I once was. The somber expression passes, replaced with a dangerous grin.
What?
I can gather my strength in Cape Lockehurst, watch humanity grow around me, meet souls who are far, far too curious for their own good. Uh-oh, is that me? Yeah, my ears are burning again. I'll admit, I've grown to like being Mikhail as much as I enjoy being... the other thing. Mihuiko. Well, normally I adore crafting geometry beyond human comprehension. Drawing designs on people with my tattoo gun is a close second. He's quiet for a moment and almost bashful. Which brings me to a question. I know I joked earlier about you wanting one of my flash designs, but I do need to test a few out. Mind lending me an arm? I've never had a tattoo before, and I don't even know what to expect. There's a small thrill to the idea of getting one in the heat of the moment, but also, it's so permanent. Hell yeah! I'd rather not. No worries, Emerson. You can still draw on me, but just don't actually tattoo me. Alright, I can work with that. Sit down here. I do as I'm instructed. The protective plastic on the tattooing chair squeaks as I get comfortable. Michaela then places a sketchbook in my lap before grabbing a black marker. Pick whichever one you like. I scan the page. About 10 different spooky designs look back at me. I pick out a black cat peering into a crystal ball. A cartoonish squid with bat wings. Gee, I wonder what that's supposed to be. Like a caricature of himself. A crow skull with a 13 in Roman numerals on it. Well, it's pretty tempting to get this one just to see what he says. I was leaning towards the cat because I like cats, but I point to the squid design. You're not just picking that to flatter me, right? Oh, I absolutely am. You wish. I offer a small spot on my inner arm for him to work on. Ready? Yeah. He nods and uncaps the pen, lightly sketching on my skin. Oh, look at that. He's got little tattoos too. The ink is cool and it's almost relaxing having him just draw on me. I watch him work in silence, save for a soft rock song on Mikkel's radio. By the time he's done, it's almost sad I had to pick a small design. Tell me what you think. I take a look at my arm. It certainly looks like a pen drew on skin. I imagine it must look better if it was actual ink. Like the design? Yeah, but the lines are kind of thick. Yeah, well, I was working with what I had. He laughs a bit and shakes his head. I linger in his shop. Oh, there is a custom background for it. It just wasn't showing this whole time. Oh, tragic. Okay, well, good to know. I hope they fix that up. Because, like, the last 10 minutes should have been in this room, right? That's fine, that's fine. I linger in his shop for about an hour. He lets me look through his sketchbook at all of his tattoo designs. They range from adorable cartoon animals to intricate geometric sigils. Before I leave, he helps me wipe off the tattoo in his sink so that it doesn't stain me or my clothes. As I'm walking back to the bed and breakfast, I spot a familiar face.
Hi there.
Oh, hey Emerson. Good evening, Sunraya. We seem to bump into each other a lot on this road. I just finished my shift at Derby's. How's the investigation? I begin to fill her in when a horrible crash rings out in an alley next to us. We both freeze and... Uh-oh. A frenzied woman prowls towards us from the darkness. Pale eyes, leathery green skin, and razor-sharp teeth. Despite her grotesque form, she reminds me of that description of Mrs. Porter, the missing person Garrett investigated. Yeah, I was thinking that too, like the blue shirt with the red scarf. I can hardly linger on the thought, though. The creature is bearing down on Sunraya and me, though it seems especially intent on Sunraya. She almost seems frozen in fear before she looks at me, suddenly quite intent. I can hold my own. Go. Right. She's not human either. Still, I'd feel horrible leaving her alone with this thing. Stay with her. I stand firm, and Sunraya looks shocked before the creature lunges out of the both of us, and we dart in different directions just before it reaches us. I can hear its teeth gnash together as it bites at the air. I slide into an alleyway to get away, but hit a dumpster, which immediately draws the creature's attention to me. This alley's a dead end. I press myself against the dumpster and hold my breath. Oh no! Not a minigame! You have perished! Try again. I thought I was doing good. Oh. Yeah, no, that was bad. Yeah, that's fair. We'll get it eventually. I could just skip the mini game, I suppose, but you know. Yeah, okay. I won't bore you all with me trying to play this stupid thing. I understand why that one was pretty challenging, right? That was a pretty tense situation. Whereas the other cases that little mini game have been a lot easier and a lot slower. Once the creature abandons hunting for me and turns its back, I start to slink out. That's when this beautiful voice fills the air. Ah! Ribbons dance around a strange figure wreathed in moonlight. The voice is familiar. Sunraya. Her eyes are smoldering novas, and teeth line an enormous mouth where her stomach is. I can feel my mind slipping away with her song, forgetting about the danger I'm in. Which I suppose is why she wanted me to run. Hey! Quickly, while it's distracted! It's then that I notice that the creature attacking us is almost frozen in place, entranced by the song. I don't spend much time thinking of what to do. With a mighty yell, I shove the creature into the dumpster and run out of the alleyway. The moment I look back to Sunraya, she's human again. And so once again, I want to think about, like, you know, how does she kind of match the laces on her shirt, and even like her the little gape of her vest. It does kind of give you that feeling of the teeth running down her stomach. And her little hair thingies being like, you know, her little horn thingies here. And then, you know, her flowy sleeves, like little, and even the ribbons on her sleeves. Nice. Clever. The moment I look back to Sunraya, she's human again. She takes my hand and we run far, far away from that alley. We run all the way back to the bed and breakfast. Sunraya doesn't leave my side for some time, staying with me in the lobby and watching the door like a hawk. She doesn't say anything, and neither do I. We just catch our breath and wait. After what feels like hours, we decide we're in the clear. Ugh. Why didn't you run? Fair question. This is another case where we're supposedly back in the bed and breakfast, but we're not in the bed and breakfast background here. Another thing, easily fixed. Just, you know, in the next pass. when they're polishing. Now the jam is over. I didn't want to leave you alone, or I wanted to help. Either is true. I wanted to help you. Oh, Emerson, sweetie. I could have handled her easily, but thank you. And to be fair, you did help us escape when you shoved her into that dumpster. It wasn't the most elegant solution, I'll admit. What matters is that we're safe.
Yay!
I'll see you tomorrow, Emerson. See you tomorrow. Get home safe, Sunraya. Yeah, especially with, like, monsters outside. She flashes me a smile, and her eyes almost seem to glow. I will. Ophelia is already asleep, and my body is begging me to collapse into bed. Sleep comes easily to me tonight after all that running. I don't dream, don't even register that I fell asleep. There's just inky darkness and rest. October 11th. Like yesterday, I wake up earlier than I want to and can't get back to sleep. This time, though, Ophelia's already up and moving. The waxy smell of her tea fills the room, and she already has 2 mugs out. She has 1 mug cradled in her hands as she leans against the wall. Her eyes look tired and her brow is furrowed. I take the mug she left out for me and offer her a smile. Morning, Ophelia. Hey, Emerson. You alright? Yeah, the urchins I've been researching keep confusing me. The data isn't making sense. Is it really sea urchins you're studying, Ophelia? Or is it something else? Something more sinister? She rubs the sleep from her eyes, but her words feel stilted, almost rehearsed. Ignore it, or what's really going on? I know you better than that. What's really going on? You always were good at reading me. I'm just getting freaked out by the town. My research has been going well, but I'm getting freaked out by all the rumors about people going missing. I heard people yesterday talk about seeing monsters roaming the streets. I don't know if it's real, but you had that weird sleepwalking thing. You mentioned seeing stuff. I feel horrible for dragging you here. You didn't drag me here. I chose to come here. I sit down by Mug and wrap an arm around her. I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me. I'm just glad to visit you out here. Besides, the people here are kind. They look out for one another. Ophelia doesn't reply for a few moments, just staring down into her pitch-black tea. Right. Ophelia, if you want to leave, we can. Obviously, I want to stay and finish the investigation, but if Ophelia's this freaked out... No, I still have things I need to do. Okay. I give her a squeeze. It'll be okay. And hey, if any of those evil monsters come our way, we can show them who's boss, right? As if. They're way stronger than either of us. Hey, don't insult my monster fighting abilities. Ophelia cracks a smile again and warms my heart. Now, she thinks I'm bullshitting, but like, no, legit, I just fought a monster. And survived, to tell the tale. Well, kind of, when I skipped the minigame. I can't help but wonder how the others would tease me after joking about fighting monsters. After sharing breakfast and tea in comfortable silence, we both grab our bags and begin to head out. Meeting up with your new friends today? Yep. Working on your urchin research? Yep. See you tonight, okay? Let's get dinner together. That would be great. Wouldn't miss it for the world. We exchange small smiles before heading our own ways. It's mid-morning when I reach Providence Pours. Mikhail looks bored out of his mind behind the counter as the other three chat at a nearby table.
Darling.
There you are, darling. I was almost worried our dear little human wasn't going to show. Oh, sorry, were you guys waiting for me? No, Angelique's just teasing you.
Well, hello there.
You're right on time. Grab a seat and we'll figure out who's doing what today. I nod and do so. Mikhail leans over the counter with a soft frown.
How's it been?
I am the man in the chair today. My boss got on my case yesterday. Can't leave. Man in the chair. It's a thing from spy movies, like the fella talking in a spy's ear and feeding him info.
Ooh.
Huh. I didn't take you for a spy movie connoisseur, Ward. Well, you never asked. Either way, Mikhail's gonna hang out here while the rest of us follow some leads. Yeah, Farmer Ward and I were talking about seeing if we can find some fish for that critter you guys saw on the beach yesterday. It'd be easier to punt it into the water.
Now tell me, why would you go and do that?
I'm gonna ignore that you said that. We're gonna see if it'll let us into those ruins if we feed it. Okay, got it. And what are you gonna do, Angelique? Well, I mentioned yesterday that a man went missing on the beach shortly after Miss Porter did. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing something about it at the library, so I'm heading there, darling.
What?
Wow, so thrilling. Fishing or checking out the library? Whichever will you choose? It's okay. We'll get into trouble after you're off work. Promise. He grins wide and his eyes flicker a bright, almost neon green. Well, we're not going to actively try to get into danger, but we'll come back and hang out. Fine. After Mikhail is done whining, I realize I have a decision to make. Who will I investigate with? I will. I don't know. I did kind of miss all of the action yesterday, so maybe I'll go and check out this monster they were talking about. I'll fish with Garrett and Sunraya. Sounds like a plan. See you guys back here soon. Don't get any breakthroughs without me. Mikhail gives us a lazy wave as we all head out to start investigating. Sunraya, Garrett, and I make our way to the beach. The waves lap gently on the shore, and the sun is sparkling over the surf. I gesture to the cliffside as we walk. Mikhail and Angelique mentioned a weird fish creature blocking the cave. It said it wants fish, so I assume it means fish. Let's set up and get that fella some fish. With a loud thud, Sunraya sets down a rusty blue tackle box in the sand. She gives us each a rod, and we begin baiting our hooks. Well, Sunraya shows Garrett and me how to bait a hook.
Oh.
Sunraya, where'd you learn to fish? Too long ago. Some kind humans back home taught me. They taught you, a mermaid with a mouth for a stomach, how to fish. She laughs and gently pushes my arm. I was pretending to be human, obviously. Even before Cape Lockehurst, I found ways to blend in. Of course, it helps if your voice can twist minds. Anyway, when was the last time we've been able to hang out, Farmer Ward? Gosh, must have been trivia night at King's, I think. Do you two know each other well?
Yeah.
Totally. I coordinate the craft store's dealings with Farmer Ward's yarn business. We met over coffee and, really hit it off. Turns out both of us enjoy karaoke nights at King's Pub. He then gives Sunraya an apologetic look. Sorry about turning you down so much, by the way. I can't find sitters for Cass. Sunraya waves her hand and laughs. Don't worry about it. The two make cheerful banter as I finally get some bait on my hook. Time to catch fish. I mean, fish. It's the return of the dreaded fishing minigame. I knew it'd come up again. It had to. You don't build a whole minigame and then only do it once. I'm so bad at this. I was actually pretty good. Like, when I was replaying it earlier, I actually caught quite a few fishies. Yay, I caught a fishy! At least one. That's important. Although I think it considers it a loss if you get any fewer than 5. During some amount of tries. See, I'm doing better. I can fish. That was a long fight, fishy. I'm so close. One more. Maybe. I have this problem where, like, the more pressure there is to do the thing, the less likely I am to be able to do the thing. Come on, fishy! I was so close. I was off my game there. I was doing really good, okay? Way better than last time. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip it. That should be enough, I think. The three of us hauled buckets over to the cave. I gotta say, I really, really appreciate that the game's just like, hey, we know you failed the minigame, but you just skip it and pretend that you won. Thank you, game. I really appreciate it. But like, you know, if on the other hand, you can say like, yes, I want to try again. Like, you could be that person if you wanted to be. I'll take the easy win. Thanks. The three of us haul our buckets over to the cave. Sure enough, the critter is back and patrolling the cave entrance. Okay, so we know that that monster we saw yesterday is probably Mrs. Porter. The, Faust, the guy who was murdered in the cave that we were there and witnessed, he was a fisherman. Do we think that perhaps this monster is Faust turned into a monster? And he's asking for a fish because he was a fisherman. That was like his whole thing. Sunraya's eyes light up the moment she sees it. Oh my god, it's so cute!
Well, I'll be.
He's just a little fella, ain't he? Their glee is a little infectious, and I can't help but smile. I pluck out a fish and hold it out to the critter. Its eyes go wide. Fish! With startling speed, the thing snatches the fish from my hand. It begins absolutely devouring it, chirping with delight. Fish, scales, yummy. Right, can we go into the cave now? Cave, close. Neat thingy. What thingy? Thingy. Big rock. Glowy scratch. Open cave.
Oh.
Maybe it's talking about a key or something? A key. If there's a key, then how did I get in that night? Just to make sure, we head into the cave. Whoa. There's a huge rock blocking the rest of the cave. This certainly wasn't here before. We push, pull, and pry with all of our might, but nope, it won't budge. Whoever is behind this must have whatever key opens this. But who? My blood runs cold as my mind floods with possibilities. We should head back to the coffee shop. Maybe Angelique found something.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. The little critter waves at us as we head out and back into town. Thanks for the fish! By the time we get back to Providence Pores, all the stress and confusion is just about ready to bubble over for me. All of this investigating, and it feels like we've made no progress. Angelique and I show the newspaper clipping we found. I didn't go with Angelique. Angelique shows the newspaper clipping she found. The note about the missing man owing a lot of money to a tattoo artist lingers in the air. All eyes are on Mikkel. I didn't kill him, if that's what you're thinking. His usual smooth tone is sharp, serious. Guy just didn't pay for a big design I did on his back. It was the 4th time he skipped payments. I knew you were bad with money, darling, but 4 times? Look, he was hot, okay? This is a coincidence or a setup or something. Did you guys find anything at the beach?
Yay!
We fed the little guy guarding the cave some fish, but turns out there's this huge stone wall in the way. There was an indentation in the stone, so we need a key, I think.
Oh.
Whoever or whatever killed those folks has it. Great. Don't look so sour. Let's review what we know. On the night of the 8th, our darling Emerson followed a distressed Faust to the beach. We know Faust owned a lot of land, including Garrett's. Faust was also a prolific fisherman, based on his apartment. Anyway, he leads Emerson to some ancient ruins, and something kills him in the fog. And that thing almost killed me, too. It also called out my name. Meaning it knows you, or it has some form of omnipotence. But my bets are on the former.
Huh?
We also know that 2 other people went missing in that area. Mrs. Porter, who was a landlady who owned Faust's building, which makes her also Angelique and my landlady. She was seen on the 5th, arguing with a short woman before disappearing on the beach. And a day after that, a tragically hot client of mine was spotted arguing with someone on that same beach before vanishing too.
For what purpose?
And whatever is hurting folks locked up the ruins on the beach so no one else could get to them. If only we had that key. I nod along and sigh. Maybe I should ask Ophelia for help.
Huh?
Who's Ophelia? My roommate. She studies marine biology and came here for her thesis research. And when did she come to town? Around the beginning of September. Why? If she's been around the beaches, she might have seen something we haven't. True. I'm getting dinner with her this evening. I can ask her about it.
Well, I'll be.
You know who's a short woman? From Mrs. Porter's disappearance description? Ophelia. There was a notes about the height difference between Emerson and Ophelia. Any help we can get is good. I'll keep digging around to see if I can find anything. Same. Maybe I can break down the wall in the cave. Oh, darling, do let me help. You're going to hurt yourself. While those 2 bicker, I can ask around at Keegan's pub to see if anyone else saw anything on the beach. That'd be nice. Thanks, guys.
Rude.
What? Are you surprised we're helping? After all this time? I'm hurt.
Yep.
We're invested in helping you and helping this town, Emerson. Speak for yourself. I'm here to see a mystery to its conclusion. Angelique. Fine. I'm also here because I care, Emerson. Ugh. See now, that sounds terribly corny.
Yay!
Ignore her. You go enjoy your dinner and see what your friend knows. Okay, Emerson? I will. The four of them look at me with their own unique forms of affection. It's hard to imagine all of them are terrifying ancient monstrosities who, for some reason, grew fond of me. It feels nice in a strange way. I say goodbye to the group before going to find Ophelia. The early evening sun filters through our room's curtains and hits Ophelia's glasses at such an angle that they shine like little headlights. She's scribbling away in her notes at the desk. I don't think she's noticed me. Ophelia? She snaps up in her seat and slams her hands down over her work.
Hey.
That's not suspicious at all. Oh, Emerson, you're back early. Are you okay? You seem a bit jumpy. Yeah, you know me. I was just in the zone. How was hanging out with your new friends in town? She's all too eager to change the subject. Why? It was nice. What are you working on, Ophelia? Nothing crazy. The colony of urchins I'm studying has shrunk really suddenly. Right. She's still hiding something. I know it. Hey, you're on the beaches a lot, right? Right. I need to ask her about the disappearances. She has to have seen something. Have you seen anything weird in town? Do you know anything about people going missing on the beach? Never mind. Well, we know that she's heard the stories about things weird happening. So I think the first question is too vague. I think we should just be direct to the point. Even though she's probably going to deflect and lie no matter what we do. But might as well be direct. Do you know anything about people going missing on the beach? Yes, I do. I didn't want to tell you because I know you're still on edge about your experience on the beach. A few nights ago, the 5th, I think, I saw a hulking figure dragging a body on the beach. I tried to follow, but it disappeared around the strange doors on the cliffside. As she speaks, she watches my face intently. I want to believe her, but it feels strange that she's only bringing this up now. Yeah, before, when she found me on the beach, she was just like, "Oh yeah, you were just you were just sleepwalking. You know." And she tried to convince me that there was nothing going on, but now all of a sudden, sounds freaky. Did it seem human? I don't know anymore. A strange silence huddles over us. Ophelia's eyes dart away from mine, staring down at her work. She lets out a resigned sigh. Emerson, when you were first researching this town, I thought the rumors about cryptids and stuff were a little silly. But after visiting here, there's definitely something off about this town. No kidding. I haven't even told her about how some people in town are cosmic horrors in disguise. While I've been researching the ecosystem here, I've also been looking into these rumors. I think something supernatural is happening here. And I'm wondering if what you saw that night in the cave is connected. Would you join me in figuring out what's happening in Cape Lockehurst? If only she knew. Of course! I've already started looking into that man I saw on the beach, and other disappearances too. You're looking into Faust? Did she know his name was Faust? Did I tell her it was Faust? Because I don't think I've talked to her since I found the little wallet with his name, right? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, that's what I've been meeting with my friends about. They're helping me investigate. That's great. We could compare notes tomorrow. I'd like that a lot. Thanks, Ophelia. No problem. So, are we still down to get dinner? Yeah, I know this great Italian place next to King's Pub. My treat. She quickly tucks her notes back into her bag and leads me out of the bed and breakfast. The evening passes quickly, and neither of us bring up anything to do with the disappearances or monsters in Cape Lockehurst. We spend a long time out in the town and don't get back until around midnight. I would have loved a little date night with Ophelia, to actually like get to interact with the date night with Ophelia and not just like a summary. They're like, oh yeah, we went out to eat. It was fine. We stayed out a long time. Doing what? Where's my Ophelia romance? Okay. Yeah. I fall asleep almost as soon as I lay down. By the time I wake up, it's nearly 1 p.m. I slip in and out of sleep before a small beam of sunlight streams through the curtains and nearly blinds me. With a groan, I force myself out of bed to close the curtains. And that's weird. Ophelia's gone already. It's not that weird. You said you slept until 1 p.m. Oh my gosh. It's like middle of the day. Afternoon already. Of course she's already gone. Something feels off, but it's hard to think on an empty stomach. Maybe I'll finally try the breakfast in the lobby before heading out for the day. An unpleasantly familiar pressure pounds in my head as soon as I step into the lobby. My vision swims, and I brace myself against the wall. Are you alright, dear? Oh no, the lady! The hotel lady! And the weird little dog, snake, shark things. I think they're sharks. I stumble back and trip over my feet. As I hit the ground, I hear the patter of wet feet and then a huge slobbering tongue swipes across my face. Ah! I start to scramble away when... Dear, are you okay? The monster that stood before me is just the bed breakfast owner. And her dogs, I suppose. The largest of the pack is still licking my face and patting me, letting out concerned whines. I give his head a solid pat before standing. I'm fine. Just slept funny last night. I understand that. Now, help yourself to the coffee. Your friend Ophelia came by not too long ago. Did she happen to say where she was going? No, she seemed to be in quite the rush, so I didn't ask. Gotcha. I wonder what's gotten into Ophelia this morning. You mean this afternoon? Before I can think too hard on it, the door of the lobby swings open.
Interesting.
Emerson, was that you yelling just now? I'm fine, Mikkel. Just got startled. Wait, why are you here? I was snooping around about the key you guys mentioned yesterday. Thought I saw something weird on the beach, so I went back down and looked for hours. That's when I found this. He holds out a small chunk of stone in his hand. It's dark and smooth, with a few sharp edges indicating it's just one part of a larger whole. A few deep scratches in it form partial shapes, and I can see the faintest bit of pale green light in the crevices.
Huh?
Just a piece of it. The killer probably smashed it to hell so he couldn't investigate properly. Mikhail, this is great. Let's go take a better look in my room. Let's go. We head up the stairs and back to my room. I clear off a space on the desk to sit and get a closer look at this fragment. It's cold in my hand and the corners of my vision blur the longer I stare into the pale light spilling out of it. Without realizing, I'm tracing the carved shapes with my thumb. Get any weird vibes from it? Not sure yet. I feel like it's part of a word or something. But it's not any language I know. I wonder how old it is. I hold it up to the window, letting the late morning sunlight catch on the carvings. As I do, the pale light seems to glow brighter. Stars dance in my vision. Pins and needles rocket down my hand and across my arm as I stare into the light.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Under Ophelia's bed, there was that same pale green light that emitted from the stone. I reach under the bed and fish out a brown bag. Was this always here? Now that I'm holding it, the light is brighter and much more intense. It almost burns my eyes a bit and I have to squint. I hesitantly open the bag. The stone fragment shoots from my hand and straight into the bag, clattering against several similar-looking pieces. There's the rest of it. It matches the ruins perfectly. This has to be the key that opens them. But why does Ophelia have it? Well, I think we found our killer. Is Ophelia really behind all these disappearances? There's no way. That makes sense. There's something else at play. I'm gonna go with like maybe, but there's probably something we're missing. No, there has to be something else at play. Ophelia is kind and loving. She would never hurt anyone. At least, I hope that's the case. There has to be more information that explains everything. If this really is the key, then we should go to the ruins. Finally! The bag is heavy in my hands. I tuck it inside my coat and we head out to the beach. I feel a bit lightheaded, like I'm standing at the end of a very tall ledge. Once we enter the ruins, we're either going to be met with disappointment or... No. I know we're going to find answers there. We have to. What killed those 3 people and turned them into horrible monsters? What called out my name in the fog? We're going to find that here. I know we will. I just wish my hands would stop shaking.
How's it been?
Hey, you okay? Mikhail stops walking and studies my face. Yeah, just nervous.
Huh?
Why? I don't know what to expect. That's what makes life fun, isn't it? The unexpected. Besides, it's not like you're facing it alone. Unless, of course, you'd rather me leave you to your fate. No. Come on, you should know me better than that. I'm not gonna leave you, Emerson. We've come too far to stop now. And you've proven to be quite the fascinating human. His calm, almost cunning smile feels like a breath of fresh air compared to my mounting anxieties. Thanks, Mikhail. Of course. We make our way across the beach back to the cave. The tablet fragments are heating up in my hands. The symbols glow faintly, and when I hold it up to the door... Oh no, it's another puzzle-y thingy. Now, this one's a little more tricky just because, just because it's not shaped like a rectangle. Oh. Oh. It's shaped like the little indent thingy. Got it. Bright emerald light shines out of every crack and carving. The huge stone wall slides into the floor, clearing the way for us. With a deep breath, I steel my nerves and head inside. The two of us walk for some time through a narrow, rocky corridor. The pungent smell of rotting fish and iron assault my nose as we get closer. Soon the corridor opens up into an enormous cavern. It's exactly like I remember, but this time I actually have the presence of mind to get a good look around. Dark marble pillars stretch from floor to ceiling. They're covered in glowing cracks and runes that pulse softly. The architecture isn't any I recognize, but I have a feeling it's not recent. Light dances around the cavern as if projected by mirrors, making it hard to gauge just how big this place is. I step a little closer to the strange pond in the center of the room. The fog rising out of it isn't nearly as thick as it was last time. Now that I can see it better, it looks like it's filled with water, and there's something glowing deep down there. As I step away, I notice that 3 of the pillars surrounding the pit have crimson stains smeared across them. Is that blood? I hesitantly approach one of the pillars. Yes, without a doubt, it's blood. Though it's not just haphazardly smeared on there like I thought. It looks almost like it's creating some sort of shape, like a diagram. My foot hits something as I lean in for a closer look. A fishing rod. Faust's fishing rod. I whip around to one of the other bloody pillars. A tattered piece of a red scarf lays at the bottom of one, and the other has a fine leather jacket with the letter A painted across the back. This has to be a ritual or something. This takes me back. Not that I'm happy about this, no. But it makes me nostalgic for the times when I had armies of cultists worshipping me. I shoot Mikkel a warning glare, but I don't have the energy to tell him off. It looks like there's some notes by those rocks. Hopefully those will shed some light on this mess. I flip through the pages. They're written in a fine hand in black ink. Whoever wrote this wasn't in any rush. The first couple pages are filled with detailed descriptions of the cave's measurements, the water's pH, and the alien language lining the floors and pillars. There are a few sections that catch my eye. What should I read next? Marine life? It's hard to believe none of the locals knew about this place. It only took me 12 hours to decipher the tablet and open the ruins up. I have a feeling they were just hiding it from me. They stay far away from this place. Oh well, I like privacy while I work. The air is electric in here. I can only imagine what sort of marine life call this cave home. I know what I'm working on for my thesis. My advisor won't believe it. The only issue is that it's so frustrating holding the tablet up to the doors every time I want to come in. But I think if I can memorize the words on it, I can enter without it. Gosh, I have my work cut out for me. Oh, Ophelia. Why? Marine life. Nothing grows in this cave. Nothing lives in the water here either. I need to see how organic life reacts to this mineral-rich environment. 3 days ago, I introduced some minnow, a black sea bass, and some shrimp to the cave pond. They're already changing. Discolored scales, more eyes, increased size far beyond what's normal for their species. They look almost aware of me, of their transformation. They look hungry. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, Ophelia! This is not the proper response. I mean, it is, but also. Accelerated mutation. If they survive, then the water in Cape Lockehurst could revolutionize science. What could it do if I exposed something larger than a fish? Ophelia! You can't just sacrifice people to the elder gods. That kills people. This town is overflowing with intense energy, and I think I've pinpointed where it's strongest. The small pool in this cave, it has tremendous capabilities. The marine life I've exposed to the waters don't just survive, they thrive. I talked to Faust about this, and he agrees that this cave holds the key to this town's secrets. It's a little ironic. Emerson brushed off the rumors about Cape Lockehurst, and here I am, finding its source. There is not a single doubt in my mind. Ophelia's behind this. But why? I can't understand it. I pull out the final section. I don't want to read it, but I can't bring myself to look away. I nearly lost my arm when I touched the cave's pool. The moment I made contact, it felt like my mind was shattering, expanding and blooming into a fractal. Supernovas burning in my vision. Every atom in my body burned and popped. Time felt like it was folding out all around me. I was barely sane enough to pull back before it consumed me whole. The human body is not capable of surviving whatever transformation this cave induces. I think I can find a way, though. The runes here speak to me. They scream of blood and flesh and bone and souls filling the waters of Cape Lockehurst. They tell me that if my body isn't strong enough, then I can build myself a new one. A handful of lives is a small price to pay in the face of what I can gain. The world as we know it will change. I will make it change. I've already started making preparations. I need to show Emerson. They need to witness what I will become. Ophelia! Ophelia, what have you done? I gripped the pages tight, nearly ripping them. Blood offerings, mutations, ritualistic murders. Ophelia, why?
Interesting.
I think we have company. What? I look up, and sure enough, I hear a low droning, like a whale call. The drone then grows into a mangled snarl as something lunges at me from the shadows. Oh, hell no. Pain shoots through my body as I hit the ground. I can't catch my breath. Something is standing on top of me. A leathery gray beast stares down at me with milky white eyes. Its jaw hangs loose from its skull, jagged teeth shooting out at all angles. With a horrible crack, its jaw opens wider. Emerson. The sound doesn't come from its mouth. It's everywhere, worming its way through my head. Emerson will witness. That's enough. A tremendous force impacts the beast, pinning me down, and slams it against one of the pillars. A terrible pressure builds behind my eyes as Mikkel, or Miakril, lets out a wail. He grips the creature by its elongated neck and slams it against the pillar again, but it seems uninjured. The monstrosity rears its ugly head again, staring straight at me. That voice splits my skull again. Emerson will witness. It lunges at me. Oh no! Oh no! This one's even harder than the last one. Oh gosh. Oh. Yeah, I screwed that one up. We'll try it a few times. I immediately screwed it up. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, okay. Let's just pretend I won that, okay? Moving on. It's hard to tell, but I think I'm wearing it out. My heart's beating so fast, it feels like it's about to explode out of my chest. I found myself against the cave wall as this creature is bearing down on me. I grab a heavy rock, but can't find an opening to strike. With a grotesque snap, the creature unhinges its jaw again. It snaps at me and I lunge to the side. However, it's still able to sink a fang into my leg. White-hot pain shoots through my body, and I can't help but cry out. Then, an intense light fills the cave. Mikkel looms over the creature. Intricate geometry made out of pure light slices through the air behind it. The creature looks back at him. Its eyes widen, and its muscles go slack. Similarly, I can't help but stare at the intersecting lines. The light draws in almost all of my focus. Mikkel's eyes then meet mine and my mind clears. I heft the rock up again and throw it at the creature. It shrieks in pain and stumbles back before falling into the water. As soon as the creature splashes down, the room smells like burning flesh and rotting fish. It shrieks as its body begins to warp. I force myself to look away.
Impressive for a mortal.
Thanks, Mikkel. I try to reply, but the pain in my leg intensifies as the adrenaline fades.
You insolent.
Oh shit. Stars dance in my vision as Mikkel wraps his arms around me. He lifts me up and I sag into him before he carries me out of the cave. Mikkel insisted we lay low in Providence Pours. He had dragged a bunch of chairs together for me to lay on and elevate my leg, which he bandaged surprisingly well. Luckily, the wound isn't too deep. I just need to wait for the pain medication to kick in. Mikkel hasn't left my side for the past hour, except to check the bed and breakfast to see if Ophelia was there. Apparently, the owner hasn't seen Ophelia since this morning. I need to confront her. I need her to tell me what the hell she's been doing. God, Ophelia, what are you doing? I shifted my seat, starting to stand when Mikkel puts a hand on my shoulder. You're not thinking of getting up, are you? I need to talk to Ophelia. Not until the pain wears off. He drags over another chair and sits in it backwards, grinning at me. You're stuck with me. I slump back down into my seat. You say that like it's a bad thing. A 10-foot tall squid man at my beck and call? I could do worse. He laughs and shakes his head.
Rude.
I'll have you know that Squid Man used to be a feared ruler of the seas. Right. Krill, sovereign of the dreaming depths. I wave my hands a bit and put some dramatics on his title, trying to rile him up some.
What?
That's right. Put some respect on the name. Even for being impossibly ancient, his demeanor was so relaxed and playful. If you were a sailor in the 19th century, I would have eaten you for dinner. Oh, really? Really? He lets out a wistful sigh and rests his chin on the back of the chair. Those were the days. Reducing seasoned sailors to tears just by rearing out of the water. It was perfect. It sounds like you were a real troublemaker.
Rude.
Troublemaker? Oh, please. I could have wrought the apocalypse if I wanted. I probably would have if those whalers didn't get a chunk out of me. Whalers? He suddenly looks away, a thoughtful frown darkening his face. Look, don't tell anyone this. I'm only telling you because I know you're going to be cool about it. Now I'm worried. Don't be. He sighs and looks back at me. It was like the 1840s, I think. I was tearing through the Atlantic just off the coast of Spain. Just as I was ripping apart a huge Royal Navy vessel, something hit my wing. A group of whalers got the jump on me, skewered me with harpoons, and nearly took my head. It was one of the only fights I ever fled from. He's avoiding eye contact again. I was a coward, but I didn't want to die. I fell into a deep sleep at the bottom of the ocean so I could recover. All that time, I couldn't stop dreaming of humanity. Those dreams felt less like figments of my mind, but as if I was watching, like a spectator. The little lives that seemed so insignificant before became the only thing I knew. I bite my tongue and wait for him to continue. The weird thing is, after about a century, I felt jealous. Imagine that. Me, an elder god, jealous of humans of all things. He pauses and pats my shoulder. No offense. I can't help but smile and roll my eyes. It was just the strangest feeling. I couldn't shake it no matter what. I woke up from that dream before I was healed. I'm still only a fraction of the god I once was. But I needed to squash that jealousy before it consumed me. I wasn't strong enough to venture wherever I pleased, though. Luckily, the eldritch energy around Cape Lockehurst keeps me going. I can recover here while seeing what makes humanity so infuriatingly interesting. Sounds boring. And what's your conclusion? It's mostly overrated, with a few exceptions. If I were Krill, I couldn't give people tattoos or meet humans like you. Consider yourself lucky. You have the favor of an elder god. He gives me a sarcastic grin, which I meet with an over-the-top bow. Oh, thank you, my lord. I chuckle a bit before something piques my curiosity. So, why tattooing? Not sure. I just like how it looks. He then groans and throws his head to the side dramatically. First, I pick up human dialects, and then I develop passions. Oh, you poor thing. I roll my eyes yet again, though it's hard not to smile when he's acting like this. Yeah. Either way, it's fun tattooing people. Flash tats are great and all, but I really like doing the more intricate geometrical work. Like what I saw in the cave? Oh yeah, exactly like that. One of the perks of being an elder god is that I can see the geometry that forms reality. He leans into me and smiles. It's one of my favorite designs to do for people. Say, would you get a pattern like that across your back? Oh man. Oh man. I don't want to be mean. Maybe if it was small. Miko laughs hard and nods. I can book you for an appointment after this mess then. He leans into me and grins. If you're not careful, people are going to mistake you for a cultist of mine. Ha, in your dreams. He laughs again and shakes his head. A comfortable silence settles over us. I keep thinking of him distracting the monster back in the cave. He didn't need to help me, but he did. Hey, Mikael. Thank you for saving me back there. What, back in the cave? Well, yes, and also carrying me back to the place. Yeah, and just for helping me through all of this. It was selfish, I'll admit. I like satisfying my curiosity. And luckily for you, I happen to like adventurous, curious mortals. There's that charming, easy smile again. He's leaning in with a smirk in his eyes, watching me intently. I don't know, like... Am I getting this scene because I accidentally, like, romanced him? Because I didn't mean to. I did not mean to at all whatsoever. But I'm not into it. Oh boy. Maybe I'll save. Maybe I'll come back. But, the commentators are saying to kiss him. Okay, okay. Sure, we'll go for it. We'll go for it. A playful grin tugs at my lips before I quickly pull him close and kiss him. He lets out an audible noise of surprise before leaning in. When I pull back, it looks as if he's still processing what happened. How's that for adventurous? Or is that okay? How's that for adventurous? That wild, dangerous smile plays across his face again and he laughs. You keep surprising me. Would you rather me stop? Not at all. After that, he steps aside to brew us each some coffee so we can stay up discussing all that's happened. But soon the conversation devolves again to us discussing the weird critter on the beach, what tattoos we would get, where we'd like to go to visit before we die. I don't really remember the seats here being so comfortable, but the longer we stay in chat, the more relaxed I get. Emerson, I missed you. It's been so long. Remember Lockehurst? You should totally come visit me. I'm doing research. I want you to see. Ophelia, you need to be here. Come to the cave. You need to witness. Oh no. Oh no. That look. Oh no. Witness what I will become. Sweat runs in rivers down my back and I feel ice cold. My back is killing me too. Did I fall asleep on these cheap coffee shop chairs? It looks like Mikhail also fell asleep while he was sitting up. He has his head leaned on his arm at the table next to me. What the hell was that dream? My heart is thundering. I quickly shake Mikhail's arm. Mikhail, get up. We need to go. 5 more minutes. Mikhail! He jostles before yawning and stretching so hard I hear his back crack.
How's it been?
More into you too. Mikhail, this is serious. I think we need to go back to the cave. I had a weird dream. He immediately snaps to attention. Ah. Okay, let's go. How's your leg? It was just a nasty scrape. I'll be fine. He offers a large hand, which I take and use to help me stand. Don't be afraid to lean on me, okay? Can't have my favorite human collapsing on me. I give a weak nod as we shuffle out of the coffee shop. Normally I wouldn't put much stake in dreams, but also I normally wouldn't be dealing with the supernatural. I've made up my mind. I'm going back, and I'm not leaving until I have answers. The two of us walk all the way across town back to the cave. Immediately, something's different. The air is buzzing and my hair is standing on end. Mikhail almost looks to be in pain. He's wincing and clenching his fists tight. Mikhail?
Huh?
What? Are you good? No, my head hurts the closer we get to the cave. Something's happening in there. We need to go. I frown, but ignore my worry for now. We head inside the cave. The tablet glows like it did yesterday, and the entrance opens for us. As we trudge forward, I also start feeling strange. My vision blurs and bright spots of color dance across my eyes. I can feel my heart beating irregularly in my chest, almost in time with the strange pulsing glow in the crater. What's going on? As I turn to Mikhail, he's standing stock still in the cave behind me. He opens his mouth before nearly falling over. I rush over and catch him just before he does. Mikhail? What's wrong? What's happening? The water, it's doing something. The water? I look over my shoulder at the light spilling out of the pit. It's more intense than yesterday. It gives me a headache to stare at, and my heart is beating faster around it. And it seems to be draining Mikhail's strength. Emerson, what are you doing here? Ophelia's voice chimes from the darkness. I whip around and spot her standing at the edge of the cave. Ophelia, you need to tell me what you've been doing. Now. I don't know what you mean. Don't do this to me. I found your notes. You have the tablet that opens this place hidden in our room. Did you kill Faust?
What are you talking about? You're scaring me.
Careful, Emerson. You know she's been lying. He leans against the wall, looking weaker by the second. I give a stern nod before turning back to Ophelia. You need to be honest with me. What have you really been doing in Cape Lockehurst? Exactly what I told you. I'm just as confused as you are about this place. It's freaky. I don't know anything about it. Let's leave, Emerson. She extends a hand out to me. Some part of me wants to leave, to pretend that none of this happened. But it feels impossible to deny what I've seen. Emerson, let's go. I'm gonna do a thing that is gonna make like everyone hate me, but I just want to see what happens, okay? I like seeing bad ends. Okay. I reach out and take her hand. A slow smile spreads across her face as she holds my hand tight. Emerson! Mikhail struggles to his feet as bright runes begin to slice through the air around him.
What?
His human form flickers before falling completely. He lets out an agonized yell and falls to his knees. Mikhail? I try to let go of Ophelia's hand to rush over, but she has me in a vice grip. I love the juxtaposition of like, she's just like so sweet and happy. What did you do? I yank on my hand in vain. Similar strange runes begin to glow around me too. Shh, just be still and watch. Witness the culmination of my research. She finally lets go of my hand, but my body feels like it's turned to stone. 5 should be more than enough. Faust, Mrs. Porter, Atlas. It's only then that I notice 3 other figures in the cave with us. Though they're all limp and lifeless, it's hard not to recognize their monstrous faces. She turns over her shoulder and grins wildly at me. Now you two. Your bones will be the foundation of my breakthrough. Thank you. Ophelia, stop. I don't think I will. She steps to the edge of the pit. The light shines harshly on her glasses, and a terrible laugh erupts from her. Ready to see what I can become? Witness! Please don't! What are you doing? Stop! Please don't! Whatever you're doing isn't worth it. Oh, it is. Trust me. Ready to see what I can become. Oh, it's one of these. Where I can do all the options, but eventually it's just going to be witness, right? The only thing I can do. What are you doing? You'll see. Stop. No. There's nothing I can do. My body won't move. I'm glad you came to visit me, Emerson. The light spilling out of the pit is overwhelming. I gotta say, it's also a little distracting that there's 2 Ophelias in this scene. Because they overlaid her on top of the CG. I probably would do this scene without the sprites. Like, the CG says everything we need to know, right? The light spilling out of the pit is overwhelming. My ears ring and every single nerve in my body lights up. Ophelia! I cry out, but the sound doesn't carry. I can't hear anything at all. My mind feels like it's fracturing in my skull, and the last thing I see is Ophelia standing over the crater with her arms open wide, as if waiting for an embrace. That's it! But I didn't get to see what she could become! Although I guess that makes sense, like, I was a sacrifice, right? So I died. Okay. Now let's go back and choose the correct option. I just wanted to see what happened. Okay. Don't take her hand, obviously. As easy as it would be to believe her at face value. The evidence is overwhelming. Ophelia, you need to start being honest with me. I've already read everything. I know you're doing something bad here. I muster all the conviction I can, but I can't help how my voice shakes slightly. Just tell me. The concern on Ophelia's face drops, replaced by something cold and callous. Fine. Relief and terror hit me in equal measure as she drops the axe. It's true that I've been researching, but no, it's not actually the local urchin population. These ruins, this whole town, is brimming with energy. It all flows from this cave. And you've been studying it? Extensively. I'm so close to understanding it. So close to being able to test it on myself. And what do you hope to gain from this? Emerson, I know you've seen who or what people in this town really are. She harshly gestures to Mikkel, her smile wide and frantic. Uncaring gods who love nothing more than to treat humans as playthings. But with what I've found in this cave, I can have power rivaling them. These waters mutate organic matter, expanding them beyond the confines of the mind and body they were born with.
Imagine what I could do with all this power. Mutating humans into new species, controlling the weather, influencing minds.
This can't end well, Ophelia. You're smarter than this. Yeah, but Emerson, did you not read the journal? Like, she is not herself anymore. She touched the water. The runes speak to her. She is gone, my dude. She is. She is not the Ophelia we knew anymore. Don't stand in my way. I thought you, of all people, would be sympathetic, Emerson. Both of us are curious. We need to understand the world around us. This entire week, you were investigating the mysteries of this town because you wanted to know the truth. You confided in me even when I brushed you off. I know you. You're curious. You want the truth.
Imagine the kind of world I could make. Imagine the world we could make if you just trust me.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can trust you, Ophelia, when you give me that look. The look of like gleeful murder. She extends her hand to me again. Let's figure out what new heights we can achieve with this power. Together. Ophelia. She steps closer and I stagger back. I was half expecting it to give me the choice to take her hand again. And I would have done it too. Just for fun. She steps closer and I stagger back, hitting my back against the cave wall. God, my head is pounding even harder. To hold all that power, I need to feed the waters. I already have 3 bodies, 3 test subjects. And you brought me the 4th sacrifice I need. Her eyes flash a terrifying green, and the runes around the cave light up. So, this is what all those sacrifices felt like back in the day. Even now, he's just chill about it. Thank you for bringing them here. I only recently deciphered the runes I'm using to subdue them. The blood and souls of 4 cosmic abominations will be more than enough for the ritual. Stop, don't hurt. Someone you met a week ago. Fair. Fair. She lets out a cruel laugh. Come on, Emerson. I don't want to add you to the ritual. I want you to witness it. Don't you want to see what'll happen? Ophelia. While normally I'm all for ritual sacrifice, I'd rather not be obliterated by whatever this is. I need to do something. You know, I do want to see what would happen. Super tempted to choose that one, but I also think it would just put me on the same thing as before. Where even after all that, I didn't actually get to see what would happen. It cut to credits. My curiosity still was not satisfied after all that. Let's save again. So tempting. No. I'll try one more time to convince her. Ophelia, you can't do this. You don't know what it'll do to you. Please, this isn't you. I step forward and move to take Ophelia's hand, ignoring the fiery pain in my leg. Emerson? She flinches as I touch her and pushes me down. I hit the ground hard with a loud crack. Pain rockets through me and I can't catch my breath. No! Stay down.
What?
Emerson, come on. With a surge of strength, Mikkel seems to push through the intense aura permeating the cave. He casually offers me a hand up before resting a hand on my shoulder. Ophelia, please, listen to me. I care about you. Stop this, please. Emerson.
Why are you standing in my way?
I ignore her question and step towards her again, wincing through the pain. You're not a killer. Something here made you desperate enough to take someone's life. She takes a shaky step back, eyes wild and frantic as if she were a cornered animal.
Something is leaking into Cape Lockehurst. Something ancient and powerful. You might not want to understand it, but I do.
No, Ophelia, this isn't you. You're kind and caring. You wanted to research the ocean because you wanted to save marine life.
No, stop talking.
This is changing you. Stop. Tears prick in her eyes and she grips her scarf tight. I spent nearly every day this week confiding in you. I told you my worries, my fears about this town. You sat and listened, knowing the whole time you were behind it all. I want to believe that the caring person you are pretending to be is real, somewhere deep down. If you are still that person, you need to stop this. All of my work. Just take a step back and look at yourself. You've always loved learning and trying to understand the unknown. But are you ready to sacrifice your humanity for it? She stares at me, tears streaming down her cheeks and fogging up her glasses. Her knees begin to tremble and she collapses to the floor.
Oh, God. What have I done?
What have you done? I sink to the ground with her, wrapping her in my arms. She lets out a deep sob. The full weight of realizing what she's done is hitting her hard. Her cries echo through the cavern. She clings to me, muttering apologies and begging forgiveness. I can't bring myself to speak, so I just hold her tight, bathed in the emerald light of the ruins. Hey! Did they let her out of prison for this? I mean, yay, happy ending! But no, like, seriously? Ophelia, I love you, but you should be in prison. For their outstanding... yeah, okay. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. for their outstanding work in the field of anthropology and marine biology. The Chambers University of Rhode Island is pleased to bestow Emerson and Ophelia Panchel with the Chambers Seal of Honors. Sorry, I like the way it says that with only Ophelia's last name is like we're like married or something. I don't think that was the intent, but it's kind of funny. All alumni from our university go out to make the world a better place. And these two have revolutionized the field before even receiving their diploma. Their research in the town of Cape Lockehurst has paved the way in modern understandings of marine life, and the dean's words washed over me at the time. I was too lightheaded from all the attention being on me. I remember my hands were trembling, but I couldn't stop smiling. Call me prideful, but being recognized during commencement is absolutely a dream come true. Though it was surreal hearing about how my time at Cape Lockehurst was revolutionary. To me, it was the time I nearly lost my best friend. Even still, Ophelia was standing next to me during commencement, being awarded just like I was. But that October in Lockehurst changed her. We vowed to keep it secret. But that didn't stop her from working herself to the bone to undo the pain she caused. The six of us, Ophelia, Mikkel, Garrett, Sunraya, Angelique, and I, worked to safely destroy the cave. We needed to make sure no one was ever tempted by power like that again. Ophelia wasn't satisfied with that, though. Shortly after graduating, she abandoned her research and joined a marine wildlife rehabilitation program. Hey you, I loved reading about your last talk. About your last talk you gave over Newburyport. Amphibious human beings. Almost makes me miss Lockehurst. Have you heard from your friends lately? I'm sure they miss you, just as much as I miss you. Anyways, I know you're dying to know about the walrus rescue at work, and you'll be happy to know she's recovering quite well, probably. Almost at her target weight, and she's blah 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 super well. I helped out during her blah 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 up, and she's the cutest when blah blah blah. We think it won't be long until blah blah blah, and I'm relieved. I obtained a blah blah blah. The little critters we got at the blah blah blah. Brittle star, horn, starfish, and sea urchin named Fred with a little smiley face. Oh, she's so cute. She threw herself into conservation and habitat restoration. Every month I get letters from her about all the work she's doing. She is clearly happy there. I hope one day she can forgive herself for what happened in October. I know I'll never be the same. What I found in Cape Lockehurst must just be the tip of the iceberg. Besides, I have a shiny new degree in anthropology and folklore. I have no excuse not to learn all I can about the creepy and cosmic world that's revealed itself to me. Time to put this human curiosity to use. Aww. Nah, post-credit scene! Woo, let's go! Of course he'd make this our first stop on a road trip. He groans as he brings his motorcycle to a stop at the side of the road. Oh, his motorcycle. I climb off the back and stretch my legs. You sure you want to come back here? Just to visit for a bit and see our friends. Fine, it's your time off. Just know that the royalties from that textbook you wrote won't cover the trip if you make every nostalgic pit stop along the way. Do you know how far off course we would be if we went to go visit Ophelia too? Oh, stop whining, Mikkel. Say please. I roll my eyes and lightly shove him.
Rude.
Be nice. I'm an eldritch god, remember? Then start acting like it. Where's the fun in that?
What?
He snickers and wraps his arms around me. He's been following me around and acting like this since I left Cape Lockehurst. Even when I started working as a traveling lecturer, he stayed by my side. He keeps saying he wants to see all the human world has to offer, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested in traveling with him. A few months ago, he bought a motorcycle so we could take a road trip. He seemed quite rushed about it, but I try not to worry about that. He leans his face close to mine. Our noses brush each other and my cheeks burn. How does it feel being a deity's companion? Companion? Would you prefer me to call you my Pookie? That's worse. Like, infinitely worse. Fine. How about babe? Better.
Rude.
Ugh. And I thought I was hard to please. He chuckles before leaning in and giving me a surprisingly tender kiss. The embrace lasts a longer time than I expected. When he pulls away, I frown some. What's wrong?
Huh?
Wrong? Nothing's wrong. Mikkel, tell me the truth. Fine. I'm not going to be here for much longer. In Lockehurst? No, as in I'm not going to be able to be Mikkel much longer. I can feel it deep down. I'm growing tired. Sometime soon, I'm going to need to return to the depths again and rest. But we just started living our lives. Isn't there anything we can do about it? He laughs and brushes the hair from my face. You forget. I'm a god. I'll find my way back to you, even if I need to tear the world apart to do it. Don't say that. Don't say that. Sequel game. Mikkel tears the world apart to get back to the punk he met for a week and then decided he was very fond of. That's an adventure for tomorrow, though. Tonight, let's live it up in Lockehurst. Cute. Cute. So yeah, that was The Stars Under Lockehurst. I'm glad I was able to finish it. Fun times. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I don't know how the game determined which love interest to stick me with at the end, but you know, honestly, I would have been happy with any of them. I would have been okay no matter who they stuck me with. And you know, I liked that ending. I like that even Ophelia got a happy ending. Even though she should be in prison. She should be in prison. But you know what? It's fantasy, and so we can accept that Ophelia deserves a happy ending too. And we'll just it definitely wasn't it wasn't Ophelia who killed those people. No. It was the cosmic horrors. Yep. Yep. Good times. Really enjoyed it. It was really nice. And yeah. I am not quite sure yet what I will play next. I'm gonna have to look through the list of games for Spooktober and see what stands out, see what looks interesting. And I will see you next time. Bye.